Hello and welcome to the United Stand Transfer Daily for you this morning. Lots to talk about, and obviously this is the last time I won't be in the studio, which is a bit of a boo-hoo. It means the end of the New Year break. What I want to talk about today is United's apparent... Well, this is coming from Ed Woodward, and this is something that's been going on for quite a while, to be honest with you. And this is a real insistence that Manchester United do focus on players of youth. And I'm going to sit down because I know it's really annoying. On focus on players of youth with big sell-on fees, but also players that befit what Manchester United's all about. So you're looking at De Jong, De Ligt from Ajax. So we'll be talking about those. Also, though, I want to start off with Koulibaly. Big story about him. Also, Mesut Ozil, Dembele, Anthony Martial, Eric Bailly. Lots and lots to talk about. So let's start off with Koulibaly. I believe that Koulibaly wants to come to Manchester United. I mean, Paul Pogba put this social media tweet out about, maybe it wasn't a tweet, maybe it was an Insta. Let's not be preferential to Twitter. It could have been a Facebook, it could have been a tweet, it won't be Snapchat, that's dead. But it certainly won't be. No, let's carry on with that. So Pogba puts a social media post out about the racism and supporting him, which is very, very good. Koulibaly comes back with something supportive and says, "See you soon." And we all think, "Oh, see you soon. How can that be? Are they friends? Have they got a family wedding to go to? They don't play for the same country. Maybe he's going to sign for Manchester United." I tell you what, this is what life's all about. This is what life's all about. Let's be positive. Let's be positive. And to all the Arsenal fans who were trying to deliver L's to me yesterday because you're 6 points ahead of us now, insert your anus on the L and sit down, because you know what? Mourinho beat Fulham 4-1 at home, and the season will be home. The season will be finished in May, and we will be above you. I don't even worry about you. I'm not worried about you, so shut up. Seriously, though. So let's talk Koulibaly. I'd love Koulibaly at Manchester United. I've said it so many times, you're going to get bored of it. He's fast, he's athletic, he reads the game well, he's a leader, he's 27, he's in his prime, he'd be worth £90 million. I think for United, he'd do what Van Dijk did for Liverpool. And Liverpool wouldn't be where they are without Van Dijk. And I did call him the Dutch Chris Smalling, and he's been absolutely fantastic for them. And I think Liverpool would be third without Van Dijk. He's made their defence very, very solid. And, you know, how many points is that? It's massive, isn't it? So I would love United to go and get Koulibaly. And I think there is an opportunity for us to go and do it. I certainly would 10 times prefer him over Alderweireld, really, really would. Talking about centre-backs, Eric Bailly is now... favourite to sign for Spurs. Now, I'm concerned about Eric Bailly. There are noises coming out of United, obviously when Mourinho was there, but they persist that there's a lack of trust in Eric Bailly at Manchester United, and that concerns me because he's definitely a fan favourite. However, I think a lot of people agreed that the performance against Bournemouth at the weekend was good, but there were some reckless elements there, and that led to probably a deserved red card, even though Drunk Golbich absolutely loved the passion and the fact that it actually was a blatant red. But you know what? Van Dijk did one of those tackles, didn't he, against Napoli? And, I think in some games it would have been a straight red. It wasn't. He got away with it. And even I don't like Liverpool, but I said, I do quite like those blood and thunder tackles. The problem with Eric Bailly was he didn't even nearly get the ball, and it was a scissor tackle, and it was a red card. Personally, I think Lindelof and Eric Bailly are our answer, but then if Eric Bailly and Lindelof are the answer, why are we always talking about centre-backs, all of us? So, and if you get Koulibaly, where does Eric Bailly play? Do you play Koulibaly and Eric Bailly, or do you play Koulibaly and Lindelof? And I think, to be honest with you, the latter is better, because Lindelof's very good at bringing the ball out. And I think you need a ball-playing centre-back, and you need somebody goes and wins all the balls in the air, and it's the physical element of that. And so I think Lindelof and Koulibaly would work. So Eric Bailly could be moving out of Manchester United. His injury record's not that good. Spurs, Arsenal have been linked to him in the past. I don't want him to go. I do not want him to go. I really do like him, but it's looking a bit worrying for him. Anthony Martial has deleted all his social media. He's done this before. There's a little bit of concern from United fans that Martial will leave. I've said this before about Martial and De Gea. I don't see them leaving Manchester United, but if they do leave, we're going to have to just swallow it. And it's going to be a very, very bitter pill to swallow. But it's going to be... I think it's really important that we remember where we are in the league when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over, what a mess we were. I know we're living in this honeymoon period at the moment, and long may it continue, but we were in a shit state, a really bad state, a laughable state, and we've got some positivity to cling forward with, and it's great, but we were in a really bad position, really bad. We were a laughing stock, we're playing crap football, negative goal difference, and you don't know the damage that was done then. Were the club backing Mourinho to people like Martial? Martial got pissed off with Mourinho. Maybe he's pissed off with the club. I don't know. I think Martial and De Gea will stay, but if we did end up losing them, I think it's because of the damage that was done before, not now. And I hope that the positivity now feeds into players like that they want to sign a contract. Paul Pogba's interesting. I think Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United, but again, I think he's quite similar to the Anthony Martial situation, that what damage was done when Mourinho was here. We know that Pogba wasn't allowed to talk to the press in August, or refused to talk to the press because he'd get a fine. He was worried. Where did the club stand at that time? Did the club stick with Mourinho, or did they have conversations with Pogba and say, we back you? Because you just don't know what the damage has been done. But I think they'll all end up staying, but, you know, never say never, I suppose. Mesut Ozil has said he's not coming to Manchester United. Good, don't want you. Not picked for Arsenal again yesterday. If you're not getting picked for Arsenal, you really are a jelly baby bottler. We don't want anyone like that up north. We really don't. We don't want that. We don't want one of those. You know, you've got to have a spine if you come past Watford Gap, and I don't think Ozil's got one. I really don't. I think Ozil's a fantastic player, but he doesn't have the fight in him that Manchester United need. And people can say maybe Jesse Lingard's not a first-team player for Manchester United. You know, maybe Romelu Lukaku's not a first-team player for United anymore. One thing they do have is a spine, and they will go out there and fight. And United must have that from now on. We can't carry people. We really can't carry people, so that's really important. And as much as Ozil's a good player, if you're an Arsenal reject because you're a jelly baby, we certainly don't want you. I mean, how bad is that on your CV? Kicked out of Arsenal for not having a backbone. God, you must be really weak. But no, I don't want Ozil at United. Never in a million years. Ndombele. I'm glad I sort of left this one towards the middle of the show. This is from, I think it's Mercato Web in Italy. Talking about Ndombele, £72 million price tag, competition potentially from Barcelona. Barcelona can't sign everyone though. Apparently Barcelona are going to sign De Ligt, they're going to sign De Jong, so they can't sign everybody. And so Ndombele is a player that I really, really like. I do like Ndidi at Leicester as well. I think we've got to try and sign one of those two players because it just gives us a different option in the midfield too. But do I think we'll do any business in January with Ndombele? I probably don't think we will, but I don't think we necessarily need to. I think we can get by with Matic till the summer. And the CDM is something you need to look. I think with United, what we're trying to achieve this season is respectability, which would be top 4, and something in the Champions League, maybe get past PSG. That would be fantastic. This season for us is not about winning the league, is it? And I think next season, it should be about challenging for the league. I like that pose there. It's sort of like a lean forward. I think next season, you see you're getting the best angle now. Next season, it should be about winning the league. And I think for United to win the league, they need a really strong front 3. And they need 2 really good midfielders to play with Pogba. And I think Herrera and Matic can be backup, but we need a really, really tenacious CDM, and we need a really, really good box-to-box. I mean, for me, I'd love to sign Ndombele and Verratti with Pogba. I think it would be absolutely sensational. But 72 million for Ndombele, I would pay it. I don't see anybody coming through the youth setup that's going to go into that midfield and do a job for us. I think we're going to have to buy it. And I think the youth's a really good thing to mention because you talk about Angel Gomez, you talk about Mason Greenwood, you talk about Tahith Chong. These are flair attacking players that can have a future at this club. You talk about defenders and you talk about midfielders. I don't see anybody that's definitely going to do it. I think Twan Seaby's interesting. Unfortunately, he's injured for Villa and he won't be back till next month. He's one that I look at, but your Fosu Mensahs, your Pereiras, as much as I thought they were going to make it, for different reasons, I don't think they are. I mean, Fosu Mensah's just not grasping that Fulham loan. He didn't really grasp the Palace one. How can you say bring Fosu Mensah back and make him CDM for Manchester United in the title chase? You just can't. You can't do that. So I think United are going to have to move in the transfer market. I'm very excited about this transfer window. Some people feel that it started off slow. I don't think it started off slow. I just think it's going to take a little bit of time to get going. People, new year, few games. I think the FA Cup week, things tend to happen. And I think United will move. I really do think that the Koulibaly thing is interesting. It just depends on what Woodward's vision of Manchester United is. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to have an input. He said he's going to have an input. And to me, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is having an input, I think he's looking at Skriniar's. He's looking at De Ligt. He's looking at the younger centre-back. I mean, Militao from Porto. I know a lot of people aren't really interested in him. He's not played a lot of games for Porto. Highly thought of, £50 million release clause. But then part of me just thinks, get Koulibaly. Go and get Koulibaly and make us one of the best centre-backs, in Europe. Or go and get Manolas and give us a centre-back who can play straight away and go and win everything in the area. Oh, you know what I would love to see at Manchester United? I think you get this with Koulibaly, you get it with Manolas, you get it with Skriniar. When a corner goes in, whether it's in our area or theirs, you think somebody's going to absolutely pile drive their way in. And I don't want to talk about Van Dijk, but He gives that to Liverpool, that threat from their corners, that dominance when they're defending corners. And we've not really had that since the days of Vidic. I think it's absolutely massive for Manchester United to do that. And I think centre-back's the one we're going to sign this January transfer window. I mean, as I say, get in the comments below, what's your thoughts on Eric Bailly? Because if you sign a centre-back, what's the future for Bailly? And he's been linked with a move. The right midfielder position at the moment, there's not a lot going on. I've been doing a little bit of a look around there. There's nothing going on. It doesn't mean nothing. And what I want to say here is, already you've got the negative people saying, oh, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to do anything. But facts are this time last year, if you'd have said Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United, you would have been laughed at. And then suddenly it happens. And it can happen because United can be working on something and it can happen. And I do think that hopefully will be the case. I just want to make sure I've mentioned everything I wanted to mention to you today. I have. Remember, we've got the watch along tonight. It's for Newcastle game. We'll be live with that. Me and Marcus back in the studio. The Goldbridge New Year break is over for another year, which is a shame. But drop a like on the video because I promise you, every 7 o'clock every day during the transfer window, we will have a transfer show for you, and we'll be mixing it up. But do drop a like, get your comments in below. I really want to see what your thoughts are on the Eric Bailly one. Would you lose Eric Bailly to bring Koulibaly in? I think I know your answer, but there's a lot of loyalty to Eric Bailly. For me, I would for Koulibaly. Would I do it for Alderweireld? No, I don't believe Alderweireld in his current decline is what Bailly can be if we stick with him. Would I swap him for Manolas? No. I think Koulibaly is the only one I'd swap Bailly for. I do believe in Bailly. I really do. And with regards to Ozil, he can do one. And the De Ligt thing's interesting. I mean, just let me say, De Ligt at Ajax, and I'm probably pronouncing things wrong here, but he's 19. He's 6'2". He's good on the ball. He's decent at reading the ball. He's quite strong and athletic. Is he the answer for Manchester United in the short term? I don't think he is, which is interesting when you hear things like Ed Woodward, which I've been hearing for a long time, which was the falling out point with Mourinho, which you've got to back Woodward on. This in the summer, Mourinho wanted players like Boateng, who's like 50. And United were like, no, we're not spending money on that. Go and get somebody who's like in their early 20s. And Mourinho's like, nah, I need a quick fix. I believe in Woodward for doing that. I think that was really good. But I actually do think both were wrong. What they should have been looking at and what we should be looking at now is, if we went and bought a 22-year-old centre-back now, it'd be like, how does that solve us? How does that solve the problem? What we actually need is a 26, 27-year-old centre-back with real experience in the Champions League, or a really experienced Premier League centre-back. That's what I believe we need. So what are your thoughts? Would you be happy with the Ajax? Would you be happy with Milenkovic from Fiorentina, 21? Would you like Skriniar? I think he's 22. Or would you prefer a Koulibaly and Manolas, 27? I certainly don't want to go any older than 27, which brings you into the Alderweireld coming up for 30 in 2 months' time. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Really excited that United are playing today. It's exciting times. Thanks everybody. I am away, but drop a like, get involved with the channel, and I look forward to reading your comments on the centre-back situation and everything else. Speak to you all soon.